Thomas the Tank Engine is a show enjoyed by many people today, both young and old. While many people enjoy the classic series of Thomas and Friends, there are a lot of children today who grow up with the newer CGI series. That's perfectly fine, and it's a brilliant show at times. However, the issue appears when the parents buy the classic DVDs, and if a child dislikes it, they then go on to rant on the internet. And of course, what's funnier than parents ranting on the internet? So I thought I'd go on Amazon and look up some Thomas related products and see what the reviews look like. The good, the bad, the funny. I will say there's been positive reviews than I was expecting, but there are some nice funny ones too, so I thought I'd share them with you today with some dramatic readings. Especially since I got a new microphone, and this is the first test of it, so I hope it sounds okay. First off, let's start off with a classic, Thomas and Friends Season 1. Let's see what they have to say about this one. 1 star. Probably my fault for not reading the description properly, but these are very dated. My baby, 5 months, bought this via one click with his foot. He likes it. I'm docking his pocket money. Nothing Like My Life by Thomas the Tank Engine. I bought this not realising it was the original old Thomas I used to watch as a kid in the 80s. I was as horrified as the next 80s child when I saw they had made Thomas CGI and ditched the fab theme tune. So it was great to see the original stop motion and infinitely superior theme music. However, my son got used to watching the CD version on TV, and so when he saw this DVD, which only has the voice of Ringo Starr, trains do not have individualized voices, and the train's expressions only changed infrequently, he demanded that I turn it off. I still prefer this theme tune as the new one sends me over the edge, but the more static nature and storytelling isn't what modern kids are used to, and I immediately had to go and buy Series 13, oh god. Now, as crazy as some of those reviews were, believe it or not, they're not some of the worst. So that said, let's go on to our next one, which is a review of Thomas Wood. Does not match description at all. Metal, not wood train. Much smaller than dimensions given. Have returned the item. Guys, when's someone going to tell them that's not Thomas Wood? Is anyone going to tell them? Oh, surely we can't have 2 people who are wrong in a row. So let's see what this one says. Disappointingly, I wrongly thought this was compatible with Brio Track, but it's too narrow. Nice little play train toy, but look elsewhere if you want Thomas running on your Brio. Oh, that's so sad, but it's understandable. We must have bought Thomas Wood or Thomas Wood and Railway and are surprised that it's... You're kidding me, right? Wow, seems these people can't even figure out what the toys are. I mean, no hate to these people, of course. It's not the easiest thing, and I'm sure the parents don't really understand what they're buying, but at the same time, you've got to give it some thought, don't you? Okay, it's obvious that parents struggle with the smaller ones, but what about something a bit bigger? What about Motorised Emily? No one can have an issue with Motorised Emily, right? This was such a disappointment. What were Fisher-Price thinking? The motor is on the second car, so Emily jackknifes immediately. Makes no sense. Besides, most children like to play with just the engine, not the cargo car. The cargo car. In other words, the tender. Oh, okay, maybe the toys are a bit too modern for these people, maybe the episodes were bad, truly, maybe the toys were bad, maybe we're all wrong, but surely they can't dislike the movies, the classics, right? Thomas and the Magic Road, let's see what they say about that one. I have never, ever given a 1-star review before, because even if I don't like a movie, I can often respect it. This film deserves no respect. That's an hour and a half of my life I can never get back. There are so many lovely Thomas stories and films that even as an adult I can enjoy with my kids. This isn't one of them. And I can't imagine how much magic gold dust the reviewers who gave this 5 stars must have ingested. On the upside, if something like this can make it into production, then maybe there's hope for me yet to become an actor or film producer. Oh, wow. Yeah, didn't expect to see so many passionate parents so actively despising this movie. I mean, in the fandom it's fairly split, but at least here it's not that split at all. Most parents seem to dislike it and say their children like it. And the majority of the reviews that say it's good are just because the child liked it and the parents didn't watch it with them. But I mean, at the end of the day, really the happiness of these children who watch this and enjoy it is all that matters. And as children, anyone who grew up with it, myself included, did enjoy the movie, even if we look back at it in a more critical like afterwards. I'm leaving that in because I can't be bothered because I'm on a roll here. Yeah, it seems the parents, they just can't stand this film. They sit through with it, and I mean, I can't blame them. If I didn't have the nostalgia I have for it, I don't think I'd sit through it many times, but... Well, let's get on to some more reviews and see what some more of them say. My 5-year-old son, who loves all things Thomas, asked me for this, so we rented it on Prime for 48 hours. Poor acting, terrible sets, and very little train activity compared to the other Thomas films. They need to go back to the animated films which they're good at making and stop creating the rubbish films like this. Now this is another confusing thing. A lot of parents, and I mean a lot, like over 40 reviews I've read, seem to not understand that this was a film made over 20 years ago, saying stuff like go back to making the animated films, or you ruined Diesel 10 because you quote-unquote made him a nasty character now. Which just makes no sense considering this is his debut and this is the first film ever made, and everything about this screams 2000s. I mean, you know that Thomas used to be models, and you've seen a movie that's models, and for some reason you think that was made in 2020. I just don't get it. I really don't. But you'll see this is a recurring thing that happens a lot in a lot of these reviews, and it is the most infuriating but hilarious thing I've read in a long time. This film is terrible. The acting in it is terrible. Diesel 10 is so evil compared to our British one. God save the Queen. My son, however, enjoys it, but I wish the Americans would stop spoiling our Thomas. And while they're at it, the foreigners can go home as well. There's a lot of very weirdly anti-American hatred in the comments and reviews of Thomas and the Magic Road. My 3-year-old loves Thomas, loves the DVDs and loves playing with the toys. I picked this up for him despite the mixed reviews and the absolute disaster. The character of Diesel 10 is morphed into an evil disruptive threat, out to kill the other engines seemingly without any explanation. It's completely Americanized good versus evil rubbish, totally unsuited to Thomas and Friends and the 2 to 5 age group it's aimed at. My little boy seems to accept the human characters in different voices, but after 20 minutes he became visibly upset at Diesel 10, one of his favourite toys, and asked for it to be switched off. The only moment this movie brought the whole family together was when we took it to the bin. Oh god, these things are priceless. I love this. Now for by far one of my favourite reviews of the lot. I mean, this one, I used it on the thumbnails, it's so good. I mean, see for yourself. My 2-year-old's review was, we want more Thomas because there isn't enough Thomas in this movie. Also, it seems to have made her scared of Alec Baldwin. Very bad. No, sorry. Very, very bad. Avoid at all costs. Absolutely the worst children's film I've seen. Total travesty. I can't get over the fact this movie's made a 2-year-old child adverse to Alec goddamn Baldwin. Okay, we've beaten down on Thomas and the Magic Road enough as it is. I don't want to make all the fans of it hate me. I really don't. You can like it if you want, and I'm sure lots of people do. I've seen it on Twitter, I've seen the positive reviews, and some people do genuinely love this movie. But let's go on to one people do genuinely seem to dislike, which I personally, I do like it. And while I can see where these parents are coming from, they've completely missed the point. The next review was left on Norrambybranches. If you want to know what I think of this film in more detail, by the way, go click the card above to take you to a video where I speak about that and many other controversial opinions I hold. Wasn't impressed at all, and neither was my son. We have all the other films and love them, but this one doesn't exactly teach your child how to behave nicely. As through all the film, apart from the last 5 minutes, it teaches them how to be a bad person, not a good one. Just my thoughts, but if you do decide to buy this, I suggest you watch it before you let your child watch it. I mean, come on, yes, you have a movie with villains in it, but that's not exactly teaching them how to be a bad person. I don't really understand this review at all, and especially how quickly it goes from this movie has a terrible moral to, oh, by the way, you may want to buy it. So, I just don't get it. This film is far too traumatic for young children. My autistic son loves Thomas, but this upset him greatly. Thomas basically gets held against his will by two naughty engines, then once he escapes, he's lost on his way back to Sodor. I find it too emotional for younger children. My son was so upset, and this is not like him. What have you done to Thomas? What makes good and bad engines so disappointed? Now at this point, I asked people on Twitter to just send me out of context random Amazon reviews and I'd read them. I didn't know if I'd had enough content already to make the video long enough, but it's already 10 minutes, so I won't go too in-depth on these, I promise, and I won't go on another rant, and I won't plug another video. Maybe. But I'm just going to read these, and you can just marvel at how stupid a lot of these parents are. Okay, let's get into this. My toddler loves Thomas. I don't quite understand why, because it's so dreadfully boring. Trains going round in circles, uninteresting storylines, monotone narration. 5 stars because my toddler loves it. -2 stars because I want to kill myself whenever I hear Thomas in the background. My son quickly had me turn this off. He did not realise this was the older Thomas cartoon with the clay characters. This is one of the first ones. We love Thomas, but the first episodes are really stodgy in the storytelling and animation. I really can't handle the crazy eye roll thing they had the engines do as a way to show emotions. It's like a strobe light. Good in theory, crazy making in the delivery. I really can't take it. My toddler really likes Thomas, but even she can't tolerate it and throws an infant into a full-blown scream of terror. Yeah, we banned the older episodes from our Roku because of the evil eyes. Trust me, I never thought I'd have this much to say about an animated TV show. This is like a dollar toy. Waste of money. In 2 of the episodes, the word shut up is used. My son is 3 years old and instantly picked up on it and repeated it. He told me it was a bad word, but that James and Doug, the trains, had said it. I would stay away from this one, especially if you have young, impressionable youngsters. I gave it 1 star since the wooden dragon train came with it. When the choo-choo gets derailed, so does my son. For my son's 2nd birthday, I wanted to get him a train set that was bigger than his baby sets he already had. The boy is 2 now, and we felt like a step up in train sets he had to manage would be good for him. Plus it came with a choo-choo boat car, as he calls it. I thought it was a little silly to have to reset the choo-choo boat car. Anything that has wheels gets car added to it, i.e. he calls roller skates shoe cars. Get it? No, I really don't, because this is so confusing to read. Why have I done this to myself? Anyway, he didn't seem to mind having to reset the choo-choo boat car. But what he took issue with was when the train tracks wouldn't connect. He sets the train on the yellow part, it choo-choos up to the dock, rolls onto the choo-choo boat car, then choo-choo boat car tugs around the blue track and dumps choo-choo off in Brazil. However, on the choo-choo's return trip to Dunkai Sankau, it gets derailed because the track masters at Fisher Price sent the wrong track pieces. Now when the choo-choo gets derailed, so does my son. He slumps and just stares at me as if to say that he's not angry, just disappointed in my skills as a father. So now I have this track set that came with 2 straight sections and no curved sections, leaving no options to successfully complete the track. My son sees me as a failure. This track has convinced my son I am a failure of a father. I'm not sure how I'll ever recover. I just had to delete all the Thomas Train episodes off the DVR. Not sure the extent of the fallout, but things are not looking good. We probably need to change all his bedding at some point. This is just all too much for him right now. Wow, that one was just crazy. Just crazy. But I think that's the perfect one to end off on. This video is already 16 minutes long, so let's just leave it here. So let me know what you thought of this new style of video, where it's less of a script and more off-the-cuff rambling. And also, let me know what you thought of my new mic. Is it better than the old laptop one, or do you prefer the old one? I'd like to know so I can improve these videos and make sure I give the best quality I can to people watching, and hopefully one day grow a community that do enjoy these videos. But anyway, see you next time. Bye bye.